Considering how big, Marvel Universe is, and was it quite a daunting prospect for you to, come into this already established universe?
Definitely. There's definitely a bit of pressure coming into this, the big Marvel machine and, slotting in and doing your bit. And also just the whole secrecy involved. I've never been involved with a project that has that level of secrecy at every stage of filmmaking, from the casting to when we were filming to the post-production. In many ways it will be such a relief when this film is out and I don't have to worry about spoiling, slipping any spoilers out. So.
Yeah, we know quite a few actors do slip up sometimes.
They
what's
do.
What's your secret to keeping your lips sealed?
Oh gosh, I just try not to say anything. I try not to say anything at all because once one thing comes out, you'll inadvertently give away other things. So yeah,
you got the job to direct Captain Marvel. I mean, coming into this universe, and there must be some kind of massive expectation there for you. Was it really quite daunting for you at first?
We literally got a phone call. We were at a play in New York City, and at intermission, we stepped out, to go to the bathroom, and I turned on my phone, and I had like 15 messages from our agent saying, call us, urgent. And we called, and they said that we had this job, and we high-fived, and we laughed and smiled, and then we were immediately, terrified. We're like, oh, no, what are we going to do?
I spent the entire second half of the play, not watching the play and just thinking about how we're going to tackle this massive thing.
You need a big stiff drink at the end of it. I mean, and obviously you play Minn-Erva as well. Putting on that costume is a complete transformation for you.
Yeah.
And it does actually look quite restrictive as well. I mean, was there any kind of say training to use that, or because it's very tight?
Yeah, it's tight, and it's almost like wearing a resistance suit in that it's really difficult even just to lift your arms up. So I was told I needed to train and get stronger just to wear the suit, because it's one thing kind of doing the stunt choreography and learning to do all the kind of moves, just in your normal gear, and then trying to do that in that suit is twice as hard to do kicks and rolls and everything else. So yeah, I had to train, and I started boxing and kickboxing and learning all the kind of sniper stuff and with the weapons. That was fun.
You've obviously worked on some independent films before, like Half Nelson and so on. And you've actually, it feels like you've brought that to Captain Marvel as well with the aesthetics as well. So because it's a Marvel film, but it's not. It looks different. I mean, was you given free rein to actually inject your own kind of style into it?
Yeah, I think that the executives at Marvel want every film to have their own personality and to bring something of the personality of the filmmakers to it. Certainly, Kevin, Victoria, and Lou, who run Marvel, and then, they have something that they bring to it as well, and that kind of makes it a Marvel movie. But they hire people whose creative voices they want to incorporate.
Or was there any sly moves towards anyone, if you caught someone by accident during fight scenes?
I mean, I was mainly worried about hitting myself in the face with my gun, my own gun, hitting someone else, because I practiced with a rifle that was shorter than the one we ended up using in filming, so it kind of threw me when we switched.
I mean, how much did you actually know about Captain Marvel from the beginning? I mean, how much research goes into that before you start the picture?
A lot of research. I mean, this is a character, Carol Danvers has been around since the late 60s, so there was a lot of comic book reading to catch up. But it was Kelly Sue DeConnick's run of the character that really got us excited about the potential for this character in the movie. And she just was so full of life and complexities, and she was messy, you know what I mean? Emotionally messy. And so, as well as strong and confident, but also had self-doubts and the relationships that she had, not just romantic, but with other women as friends and mentors and mentees. I think all of that stuff were what we wanted to see in the film.
How much did you actually know about Minn-Erva before you actually went into the role? I mean, was there a lot of research behind her?
Well, when I found out that that's the role that they wanted me to play, because initially I auditioned not knowing what role they were considering me for, so it's that secretive. Once I found out that it was Minn-Erva, I obviously did a bit of research and looked at the kind of evolution of the character, because she kind of evolves in the comics and has lots of different allegiances and relationships with various other characters. And then I kind of focused on our script and what our interpretation of this character was going to be and how she fitted into the story and the role she played. So at the end of the day, you have to that's your kind of anchor point, and you've got to go on that and put the rest of the history of the character to one side to a certain extent.
And obviously, it's obviously a very an important film as well. You know, with Brie, the first female superhero, especially in the Marvel universe. And what would you want young girls to take away from seeing this film?
I think one of the key messages of the film is the idea that none of us, you know, and particularly young girls, young women, should be defined or limited by other people's expectations of us, and that really the only person you have something to prove to is yourself. And yeah, really that there should be no limitations on what you should aspire to do or what you can do in life.
Yeah, I mean, there is quite a balance in that going on there. And it's really refreshing to see that, you know, she is this fierce woman, but she's not a block of ice that we usually see from these kind of female characters as well. I mean, how do you go about making that balance? Is it quite an easy thing, or is it, you know, just on the script? on the screen.
I mean, it was one of the things that we set about to do. It was our early conversations with Brie about not creating, you know, the perfect, powerful, strong hero, but being able to create a character who's actually at her most powerful when she embraces her humanity and embraces all of that, which includes, you know, the parts of her that haven't always succeeded but have failed, and the things that make her human.
And obviously, yeah, you know, Brie's new to the universe as well. You've got Jude as well, and working with Goose as well, the cat. I mean, because a lot of people were quite new to this. I mean, did that make it easier that, apart from obviously Samuel L. Jackson, that you could take this in your own direction as well? So, you know, we have all these new voices in there.
Sure, I think everyone was excited to be doing a Marvel film, and I think everyone wanted to bring their own unique voice to the picture, and they did. I think everyone really embraced the idea of this character and this film and everything that it has to offer. But it's a big collaborative process with Marvel, and it's the studio heads and it's the actors, it's everyone. So I think that's what you have to come in ready to play in the sandbox with all the creative partners.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're watching Hey You Guys!
Hey You Guys, huh? Hey You Guys. Is that from the Goonies?
It is indeed, yeah.
Nice.
Hey You Guys!